In this video, we are going to be walking you through everything there is to know about living in Gilbert, Arizona, and where everything is kind of located on a map so that if you're thinking from moving out of state, you have a general idea of kind of where to live in Gilbert, Arizona. We won't spend a ton of time on each topic, but just want to give a high level overview of exactly where everything is in Gilbert. So without further ado, let's get into it. If you're new to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about the good, the bad, and the ugly of living in Phoenix, Arizona, then hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell so that you are alert and aware of new videos that come onto the market. And my name is Eric and I work for eXp Realty, and I get calls and texts from people like you thinking about making a move to Phoenix, Arizona every single day. So if you're thinking about it, please feel free to reach out either via call or text or email us, whichever method is best for you. As I mentioned at the start of the video, we're going to be walking you through different neighborhoods within Gilbert. That way you can get a general idea of where they are in proximity to, downtown, the airport, and just in overall proximity within Phoenix. So if you want to learn more about these specific neighborhoods, please reach out and we can just hop on a Zoom call. And that way we can share our knowledge of what we've heard from clients, our experience, and just overall give you a better experience of moving to Gilbert. So without further ado, let's get into my computer and walk you through Gilbert, Arizona. All right, so as you can see, Gilbert is one of the suburbs, obviously, of Phoenix, and it is about 25 to 30 miles away from, downtown. And Phoenix is so spread out and it's so large that, everything's about a 25 to 30-minute drive. So just keep that in mind, as you're picking, if you're choosing to live in Gilbert and let's say you work in, downtown Phoenix, there's not a quite direct route, directly to downtown. You kind of got to go through a couple loops and, different highways to potentially get there. So just something to consider. As you can see, again, it's kind of in the southeast corner. So there's about 250,000 people that live here in Gilbert, and the average age is only about 34. So, but a lot of what we see is, a lot of young families or a lot of, young professionals that want to escape the city life and kind of live in mainly the suburbs. So a lot of what you see in Gilbert is, a lot of development. And surprisingly enough, there's actually still a lot of farmland that is out here within Gilbert. So it's not, fully developed yet. So there's a lot of space, and it's a great suburb. So some of the highlights that you have in Gilbert is Santan Village. So here is one of the biggest shopping areas within the entire East Valley. They have all kinds of stores, Lululemon. They got Costco down there, Walmart, obviously. You got, kind of Dick's Sporting Goods, but there's a ton of, specific anchor stores that are here, a ton of food. The Keg Steakhouse and Bar in Gilbert has amazing food. We've been there a couple times. It's great. Firebirds, Shake Shack. So as you can see, they kind of got everything here. Here's a little bit better look of, kind of all the stores that they have here. So you got, Pandora, Forever 21, Zales. So as you can see, Athleta is there, Lululemon, as I'd mentioned earlier. So as you can see, it's a hub of stores in this Santan Mall. So that is definitely, if you're there, one of the things that you got to check out. Funny story is that when we first were deciding if, Phoenix was going to be the place for me and my future wife now, we ended up just randomly driving around and we stumbled upon this mall. And out of all places in Phoenix, this is actually where we ended up walking around. And coming full circle, now we live about 5 minutes from the mall. So it was just funny, looking back at exactly where we were. Over here, they also have Topgolf. So, there's a ton of entertainment in this Santan area. So if that's something that you're looking for, highly recommend. And, you like to get out and shop a lot, highly recommend being around this Santan Village area. A couple other highlights is downtown Gilbert. So downtown Gilbert has a ton to offer. It's a really cool up and coming, downtown area. So my wife's aunt, we just went out to dinner with them not too long ago there, and walking around there, they said, yeah, we were here 20 years ago and none of this was here. So Gilbert is an up and coming, it's everything, is built within the last 20 to 30 years. But this downtown area, they've really preserved it and kept it, really unique. They got string lights going across. There's a ton of restaurants, a ton of really good restaurants too. Oso Brewery, if you're down there, has absolutely amazing food, craft beers if that's something that you're into. They have, if you're into more of the nightlife, they have Dirks Bentley Whiskey Row, and we've been there a couple times, and it gets very, very busy. So if that's something that you're into, you definitely got to check out, downtown Gilbert as well. Postino, this is a really, really cool kind of wine and light meals, light entrees, I guess, and kind of handheld foods. There we go. That I highly recommend that you guys check out as well. We've had a couple, really good charcuterie boards there, and it's just a really, really good spot to grab a bite to eat. Great date night spot. So that's what you're into. Highly recommend. A couple other highlights. I love to play golf. That is why I moved here to the Phoenix, Arizona area. So I've not played Greenfield Lakes yet. However, Power Ranch is a great, great golf course, and we'll spotlight this a little bit later when we're walking through some of the best neighborhoods to live in Gilbert. Power Ranch is a really good golf course. Just be aware in the winter months it does get a little bit expensive. So that's something that you're aware of in your budget. Don't necessarily recommend playing there, as it can get in the hundreds per round. If you're looking for more of an affordable place to golf in Gilbert, there's a great golf course up here. It's called Toka Sticks, and it's actually on reservation land, so that's why it's kind of outside of our border here. But Toka Sticks Golf Course is right by the airport. It's a nice municipal track. You can hit the ball anywhere, and just highly recommend checking out Toka Sticks as well. Now, Western Skies is another really good golf course. It's got kind of a desert feel, but again, it's wide open, and you can kind of hit the ball anywhere. But it's a great municipal track, and they do a really good job of keeping everything up, kind of updated. Another really good spot to check out in Gilbert is Gilbert Regional Park, especially if you have, dogs or, younger kids. It's a great spot for everybody, just to get out and run around. So that's kind of in the southern part of Gilbert, and another one of the benefits that we'll talk about in Power Ranch area. So with that, we'll shift into kind of some of the best neighborhoods there are in Gilbert, Arizona. We'll start around kind of the downtown Gilbert area and what it's like living there. So downtown Gilbert, it was one of the first areas in Gilbert that was established. So a lot of the homes, were built in the kind of 1980s to 1990s, and you kind of get a different array of style. And they have condos, townhouses, as well as a little bit larger lots, kind of a ranch style home. And those can go anywhere, from the mid 350s at the time of this recording, all the way up to $750,000. So a wide range of budget within that downtown Gilbert area. There is a lot of investments and, apartment buildings down there, and new kind of small townhouse kind of communities. So if that's something that, you want to be around, kind of the hustle and bustle of downtown Gilbert without having that city feel, that's definitely something I would recommend looking. Is this downtown Gilbert area is, again, right around downtown. So that's a great spot to live. Vista Lakes is the next one we'll talk about. This is really cool. They, went in and master planned kind of a lake community right in the middle of the desert. So if you love, color and palm trees and water and beaches, then this is absolutely going to be one of the spots that I recommend you check out. They have kind of a cool little lagoon and walking paths and a community feel everywhere around this Val Vista Lakes. And again, this was one of the first communities in Gilbert. So, the homes are about 1980s to 1990s. So, with that, some homes may not be as updated. However, it's a really, really cool spot that you can check out and live in waterfront property in the middle of the desert. Speaking of living in the middle of the desert on water, we also have the islands. And again, really similar kind of type neighborhood of a lot of community activities going on in the islands. And that one of the cool things, if you like to fish, they have a catch and release, policy here on the lake. So if you like to fish and you want to live in a beautiful spot where it's warm all year round, the islands is definitely worth checking out because of the, the fishing policy. If you don't like to fish, they also, have amazing walking and biking trails that you can access anywhere around the islands. And speaking of biking trails, that's actually a really common theme that we see down here in Gilbert, is that there are biking trails everywhere. So if you like to, hop on your bicycle and ride, Gilbert is super flat. I remember when I was thinking about moving down here, One of my coworkers, they had said, yeah, every year we go down to Phoenix, specifically Gilbert, and we ride our bikes because of the canals and just how flat and well maintained that the trails are. So if you're a biker, you definitely got to check out Gilbert, Arizona. The next neighborhood that we'll spotlight is Agritopia. Now, this is one of the most unique neighborhoods in all, I believe, in all of Phoenix. It's very, very small and tight knit community. They have kind of overhanging trees. I'm from the Midwest originally, so it really has that homey, very kind of unique, almost like an East Coast, old school East Coast neighborhoods. Tall trees, small little yards, and it's just a really, really cool and unique neighborhood. They have amazing coffee shops around here as well. And if you have a dog, you have to check out Cosmo Dog Park. This is one of the best dog parks in all of America. So if you're in Agritopia, you get access to that right in your backyard. Another cool thing that Agritopia has is they got a clubhouse with all kinds of activities going on, tennis, they got a pool. So if that's something that you are interested in and is a master plan community, definitely got to check out Agritopia. And the prices, again, with downtown Gilbert, they kind of sway between, the 400s, and you can go all the way up to the $1 million homes. So a lot of diversity with houses in Agritopia. So the next neighborhood that we will spotlight is Morrison Ranch. Now, Morrison Ranch it's kind of a master plan community, so it's not one specific neighborhood, more of like an area. And that's right here just north of the 202. So amazing location, close to both highways. And the really cool thing about Morrison Ranch, it has a white picket fence all the way around the surrounding neighborhoods. So kind of feels like, if you're from like Kentucky, right? That's every time that I drive by it, that's what I think of is life, what life would look like if it was in Kentucky. So that's right here in the heart of Gilbert. A lot of beautiful, beautiful homes, kind of on the higher end. So if that's something that you're into and looking for, definitely a neighborhood that I would highly, highly recommend checking out. And we'll talk about Seville. Now, Seville Golf Course, this is a really, really unique and cool neighborhood. They have some of the best amenities if you are a golfer or if you're looking for, a social membership. They have an amazing steakhouse in the clubhouse, and they also have a golf membership as well. So if that's what you're into, is kind of a gated community, a beautiful, beautiful houses, large lots, then you definitely got to check out Seville. And one of the best parts about Southern Gilbert is you get access and you get beautiful views of the Santan Mountains down here in Phoenix. So as you can see, the development just kind of stops down here in Southern Gilbert, and that's because of you're coming into the mountains. So if you want a mountain view, this is by far one of the best areas that you have to check out. Now, again, I just want to mention that all of Gilbert, it is kind of out of the city, right? So it is super quiet. So kind of no matter where you're living within Gilbert, it's going to be, very, very quiet. Gilbert was rated one of the best places to live, not only in Phoenix, but in all of America for its safety, the roads, the highways, and just the overall feel of living in the community. So just want to make sure that we highlight how great of a place, Gilbert, Arizona is. Now, in relation to Gilbert and, how close it is to downtown, to other airports, as you can see on the screen, Phoenix Mesa Gateway, this is kind of it's a smaller airport, so there's not as many, big flights that come in to the area. So, anywhere, if you're in downtown Gilbert, that's about 15 to 20 minutes there. But if you want to go to the main airport, which is Sky Harbor, that's right downtown, and that is about 35 to 40 minutes. So if you travel a lot, Gilbert might not necessarily be the best place for you, just of how much and how long the commute can be. And then same thing with downtown Phoenix. If you work in downtown Phoenix, just be aware that you're looking kind of at a 35 to 45 minute commute every single day. Now, the nice part about Gilbert is how easy of access it is to other areas of Phoenix, and that's through the 202, Highway 202. So that, as you can see, wraps all the way around Gilbert, and then Highway 60, which goes right through. So you do have a lot of easy access to other areas of Phoenix. I hope that was helpful in going over a couple neighborhoods in the Gilbert area. Again, if you want more information on these specific neighborhoods, please reach out and I would be happy to give you more information or my personal, recommendations of, your specific situation. So if you like this video, again, if you wouldn't mind commenting below what your thoughts are, give me a like and subscribe to my future videos so that you can always be up to date of the good and the bad of living in Phoenix, Arizona. Catch you on the next video.